Welcome to the Director's Cut of Christian Nutrition, the show where we review every single episode of VeggieTales chronologically. And by we, I mean just me. Madame Blueberry is the 9th VeggieTales episode in the series, and it was released in 1998. At this point, Big Idea was in a transition period. They're growing quite rapidly, and they're wondering, what should we do next? At this point, Phil Vischer was working on some ideas, and the idea that they ended up deciding on was, as you may know it, Jonah, a VeggieTales movie. Now that wasn't released until 2002, and when we get to reviewing that movie, we'll cover all the details of that. Now I wanted to point all this out because it feels like Madame Blueberry was kind of the peak of the VeggieTales hype and the excitement. This is the last episode of VeggieTales that I watched as a kid, so anything past this I actually haven't seen, which means from here on out I'll be a bit surprised. But I remember VeggieTales being popular, but declining in popularity at my church and at my school. Like, nobody really talked about VeggieTales, and I was only like 8 or 9 years old, so it wasn't like I was, you know, in the teenagerhood and just past VeggieTales. This doesn't mean VeggieTales wasn't good, it's just like TV shows. Usually in the first few seasons, there's a lot of hype, everyone loves it, it's really funny. And the later seasons can be funny, sure, it's just that people don't talk about it anymore because it's all about what's the new thing. But anyways, let's dive into Madame Blueberry.
There's just one more thing I need to be really happy.
What's that?
The camper.
This is an episode about how stuff doesn't make you happy, isn't it?
The dirt bike?
And the jet ski. And the action hang glider.
Larry, how much stuff do you need to be happy?
I don't know. How much stuff is there?
This is a great question. Can you ever have enough stuff? If I had enough stuff, then maybe I could live like the people in Happy Days.
It's called Madame Blueberry. Madame Blueberry? I think I've seen that one. Doesn't it have Jerry Lewis in it? No. Be quiet and watch the film.
Jerry Lewis. A bit of an obscure reference for children in 1998. Don't you think, VeggieTales?
I'm so blue cuckoo, blue cuckoo, blue cuckoo. I'm so blue I don't know what to do.
Kinda stating the obvious there, Madame Blueberry. Don't you think?
I'm blue.
My neighbors have nice things, I've seen them myself. In fact, I keep pictures up here on my shelf.
Madame Blueberry doesn't have a man, does she?
This was the course of a typical morning. The things that Madame Blueberry had did not make her happy, so she would gaze at her mantle of pictures and cry for the things she wanted.
Wait, this was a typical morning? Her crying and singing about how she doesn't have stuff that isn't as nice as her neighbors and her friends? Are you sure her name isn't Madame Emotionally Crazy or Madame My Ex-Girlfriend?
Like I said, her butlers tried to cheer the Blueberry up, but their efforts were fruitless.
It took you guys 9 episodes to make that joke. I did that way back when. You guys are so 2000 and...
I'm so 3008, you so 2000 and late.
After Madame Blueberry finishes her morning cry, Larry, Bob, and herself notice a stuff mart built outside of their treehouse, when all of a sudden the 3 wise men / robbers from Flibberaloo show up at her door.
Then as a customer of the Stuff Mart, get ready for some real nice stuff.
Those tricky corporations are always coming up with catchy songs to take away my money. How dare they? How are they always so catchy?
Singing joy, enough to go round, enough to go round and around and around and around, singing joy.
Check it out, check it out.
Is VeggieTales about to rap?
And if you need refrigerators to keep extra mashed potatoes, or a giant air compressor to blow food pipes up your dresser, or a dehydrated strudel, or a nose ring for your poodle, or a 5-pound can of tuna and some flippers to go scuba.
I do need all that stuff now that you mention it. Long story short, Stuff Mart tells Blueberry that stuff will make her happy. Bob argues and says otherwise. Blueberry seems to ignore him and sets off on her journey to the Stuff Mart.
And now it's time for Silly Songs with Larry, the part of the show where Larry comes out and sings a silly song.
I don't recall this silly song, but I'm happy to see what silliness will ensue this time.
I'm saying Silly Songs is cancelled until further notice.
Silly Songs is what?
Oh yeah? Well then how am I supposed to get out of this bear trap?
I'm sure you'll figure something out.
Oh yeah, that is super helpful, Archibald. Just kick a cucumber while he's down, why don't you?
And now it's time for Love Songs with Mr. Lunt, the part of the show where Mr. Lunt comes out and sings a love song.
This is bound to be an epic disaster. Time to abandon ship on VeggieTales. Everyone just leave. It's all over now.
He said to her, I'd like a cheeseburger, and I might like a milkshake as well. She said to him, I can't give you either.
This is kind of catchy.
'Cause you're his cheeseburger, his yummy cheeseburger. He'll wait for you, ooh, yeah, he'll wait for you, ooh, oh.
You are his cheeseburger, his tasty cheeseburger.
Don't say I'm someone accidentally dropped some cheese in the dirt, and he would wash it up for you, wash it up for you, clean that dirty cheese up just for you.
This man is not to be messed with when it comes to his cheeseburger. This is easily the best non-silly song that has ever existed. We now see Madame Blueberry, Bob, and Larry all heading to the Stuff Mart. Along the way, Madame Blueberry spots a poor family who could only afford to give their daughter a piece of pie for her birthday. How they couldn't make a whole pie or a smaller pie is beyond me. A piece of the pie seems like they made a pie and ate all of it, except for one piece. How rude.
How rude.
The little girl sings a song thanking God for what she has, and this confuses Madame Blueberry. But, oh well, no time for that. Time to go shopping. It's glorious.
Shall we shop?
Wait, whoa. I can't even right now. Did her hair just change colors? I'm not even kidding, watch this. That isn't the only time either. Her hair is magically blonde in later scenes as well. I don't know what happened, my brain may explode. Madame Blueberry goes on a massive shopping spree and purchases everything she ever wanted.
Dad, look! It's the train set I saw on TV! The Casey Jr.
No! Why? What have we done? I don't get it. What have we done to deserve this kind of punishment?
The Lux was working lights on real livestock small! Oh, that's what I really want. Can I get one, Dad? Huh? Please? Thank you, Dad, for our day, for our trip to the...
No, nah, skip. Madame Blueberry realizes that she doesn't really want stuff. She wants a happy heart. The store employees tell her that they don't carry those in the store. Madame Blueberry then proceeds to recognize that she should be thankful for what she does have.
Oh, what a lovely butterfly.
Normally, I would point out all the veggieception that's been in this episode, and there has been a lot. But I really want to point out the poster in the background here. Here, check it out. That looks like an epic battle between the Giant from Dave and the Giant Pickle and Fib from Larry Boy. It looks flippin' sweet. When are we getting an episode just based on that fight? Madame Blueberry then sees her house is about to break from all the stuff inside of it. Kind of the reason she should have had a house on the ground like a normal person instead of in a tree. But anyways, Madame and Bob and Larry rush to her home to try and stop it from collapsing. I feel like they were unsuccessful in stopping the house from being ruined. Now, this is funny because the house is clearly getting ruined. Do you get the joke? I feel like I can explain the joke again if you need me to.
At least your house is okay.
We may have spoke too soon. Madame Blueberry's hair changes back to brown and everyone seems to be pretty okay with what just happened. I guess she has amazing home insurance. 0 out of 10, I don't see any tears running down their faces.
Proverbs 15:27a. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house.
I see they left out the other half of the Bible verse, kind of cherry picking there.
Remember,
God made you special, and he loves you very much.
bye!
And that was Madame Blueberry. Kind of a dull episode in my opinion. Yes, we don't have Junior in it, which is always a plus. But the lack of Junior might have actually held this episode back, as weird as that is to say. Just nothing, it was kind of a dull episode. Nothing really happened. The only real positive of this episode was the cheeseburger song. Weirdly enough, as it wasn't a silly song, it was the best part of the whole episode. It's an instant classic. I mean, the song will be remembered as a game changer for sure. This is definitely not anywhere near the top of the episodes we've seen so far. In fact, it's definitely in the bottom half. One day I'll rank all these episodes, but until then, know that this is definitely not one of the best. Next time, we're gonna be backtracking just a little bit, going to the Toy That Saved Christmas, technically the 6th episode in the series. However, we did skip it earlier, and it is going to be December, so you can kind of see what we're doing there. Until next time, remember to throw all asparagus in the trash. Then one day, maybe one of us will happen to kill Junior. Don't let your parents fill you with that nasty stuff that Junior comes from.